Welcome back to It Takes a Universe. I'm Ashley, and today we'll be discussing how to become a background actor. Please keep in mind that this is geared towards major cities in the United States. What is a background actor? A background actor is someone who performs in a show in a non-speaking role, usually in the background. For example, that can be the dancers in the infamous Wednesday Addams scene in Wednesday. That can be dancers in the Friends with Benefits scene when Justin Timberlake comes to try to save the relationship with Mila Kunis. That can be all the zombies in Walking Dead. Background is everywhere. The first thing you have to do is register with Central Casting. Central Casting is a casting company finding roles for film and TV extras since 1925. Every day, the casting directors cast hundreds of background actors to work on popular movies and TV shows. Famous actors that we all know and love, such as Hattie McDaniel to Brad Pitt, have started here at Central Casting. That being said, we're going to look over the Central Casting registration info so you know how to sign up. Step 1, make a reservation for talent onboarding. So you want to make sure that you have all the required forms filled out in the I-9 documentation. Then, step 2, you fill out the online application. When you're filling out the online application, you really want to be honest with what your actual measurements are, because it depends on the show and what wardrobe they have and the sizes they have. Maybe you are going to be doing background on a period piece with very specific sizes or costumes, or maybe possibly one day you might be asked to be a stand-in or a double. And so you have to have specific measurements. So we never want to lie about those things. So I'd recommend measuring yourself with a tape measure or having someone help you out. Don't use something from years ago. Our bodies fluctuate, we grow, so make sure those are accurate. Step 3 is to upload photos. So it says here that the application cannot be submitted without uploading photos. Again, just like your measurements, you want to make sure these are current, like today. Like if they asked you to be on set today, you look exactly like the photos that you are uploading. So whether your hair color has changed, or maybe you have, I wouldn't be using a straight hair picture when it's normally curly. Or you're a guy and you have a beard and now you're clean shaven. If you feel like you're always changing your look, then upload all of those types of images, but your main picture should be how you look today. Nothing irritates casting more or production more than you not being accurate about how you look and your measurements. Step 4, complete the forms. So must be e-signed before coming to the talent onboarding. So that just makes sense, agreeing to the terms that Central Casting is setting. Step 5, ensure all steps are complete. So just like anything else that you do in life, it is always good to double check your work, because if your paperwork has even a little bit of mistakes, it could be denied because the information is not accurate and you would have to start again, and you don't want to delay the process of being on set and getting money. So looking over, making sure your passport info is correct, your social is correct, your mailing address, your measurements, your photos. We want to make sure everything is correct and that you're doing your job to ensure that the application will be approved and you'll be heading to set shortly. Step 6 is attend the talent onboarding. So this will be in person, at least here in Los Angeles, where they'll give you more information and answer all of your questions of what to expect as a background actor and how getting work is done, and they'll have additional paperwork for you to fill out. And then on top of the photos that you already uploaded to your account, they will be taking a picture in person, because again, casting wants to see how you look today, right now, in this moment that you're watching this video. So they will be taking a headshot picture and they'll be taking a full body picture against a blank white wall. So just make sure you are looking your best, because the pictures that Central Casting takes, the headshot and the full body, is the main picture that the casting directors are seeing when you submit to a job. So you want to make sure it's either minimal makeup You want to look like yourself, your hair is presentable and tamed, or whatever that means for your hair type, that your clothes are steamed or ironed, since this is the main photo that casting directors will see. So once you are officially signed up with Central Casting, you have a few options. So you can either just stay solely with Central Casting, and how you'll find out about work is they'll email you. So I'm going to show an example. So this one literally just came in today as I was filming this. It says availability inquiry for Monday, April 22nd, 2024. And that is the SAG-AFTRA rate for a background actor, 208 for 8 actors. For 8 actors, LOL. 8 hours on Sex Lives of College Girls. So it shows, hey Ashley, these are the names of the casting directors at Central Casting asking for my availability. And it says everything you need to know: the show, the date, the rate, what my role would be, and then if it's gonna be under union or non-union, and I'm a union actor, location LA, other info. So we're gonna go ahead and click respond. At the bottom will be an available button and an unavailable button. You always want to respond as soon as you can, and if you're unavailable, click the unavailable. Don't just leave it blank, because that really helps casting narrow down who's available so they can tell production like their options right away. So I clicked that I was available, and once you do that, you'll automatically get another email saying, hey, thank you for letting us know that you're available for Sex Lives of College Girls on Monday, April 22nd, 2024. So that is how you will be asked about work. Central Casting will reach out to you directly, and this is for free. The other option some people have, up to you, is they get a background agency. There are some called Extra, Booked It, Face to Face. There's plenty of them that you can choose from. Of course, always do your research in your local area. So what the background agencies do, instead of you having to self-submit, they are for a fee, a monthly fee or commission, they will get jobs for you, so you don't have to worry about self-submitting. So that is solely up to you if you want to try to self-submit through Central Casting on your own, or if you want to pay a background agency in hopes they get you more work and they're self-submitting for you. That's completely up to you. Okay, so now you've signed up for Central Casting, then you've determined if you want to self-submit through Central Casting or if you want to get a background agency to do that for you. And now you might be wondering, so how do I get to work? How do I get picked? How do I get to set? And that really is based on your photos and your skills. What's in your closet and what you can do, and what props and items you have. So let's delve into that. So for wardrobe, we'll go with that. Everyone needs a casual look, which is probably how you'll go into the onboarding meeting and take your casual pick. But as many options as possible, you want to bring those and take those pictures, or at least upload those. So if you have a formal look, if you somehow have a set period look, if you have nurse scrubs, if you have any sort of costumes like a clown, or you've done mascot work, any type of attire that you can think of, there's always a scene in some show doing that attire. So bring that attire with you to take those pictures at Central Casting, or if you already have those pictures taken, make sure to upload it to your account. So if they're looking for, hey, this is at a high-end bar, you have your suit, or hey, this is a prom scene, you have a prom dress, take a picture in it. So take a picture in all the variety of options of clothes and costumes you have, because that will help you get booked. Now, same thing for skills. Like, I grew up running, playing soccer, so I'm gonna wanna have an athletic look. So I'm gonna maybe take a picture with a little soccer ball, or if you play basketball, with a basketball. Any skills you have, make sure you have a picture to reflect that. Now for props, you can get booked with your car. Sometimes they need, like, let's say they're doing a scene outside on the sidewalk, and the two leads are talking, and in the background they have us walking in the back just looking like pedestrians, but there's also cars on that block. So they cannot use anyone's property without permission. So those are extras cars. So you want to make sure to also upload a picture of your car, and in the system it will ask for the year, make and model and color and all that good stuff. So also have a picture of your car. If you have a bicycle, if you have an instrument that you know how to play, picture with that. Even if you have a pet, take a picture with your dog, take a picture with your cat that you know is well trained enough to be on set in case they're like, hey, this scene takes place at a dog park. We want people with their dogs walking around in the background. You want to have a picture of everything, okay? Same thing if they want families. Maybe they're doing like a mommy and me class, right? Or maybe the lead is pregnant and they're going to a little prenatal class. So sometimes they may just want to hire actual couples with babies. Everything in your life is kind of an option to be chosen as background. So take a picture of all your wardrobe items, all your skills, add the props to your profiles, but always make sure everything is accurate. So don't say you have something that you don't have or can do a skill that you can't do, because then if you get on set and they're expecting people to be background on the soccer team and you never played soccer, it's gonna show. So let's just keep it real. But that's how you're gonna get booked, is your skills, your wardrobes, and your props. So you may be wondering, what's the difference between a SAG-AFTRA union background actor and a non-union background actor? SAG-AFTRA union background actors, the pay rate is, as of April 2024, makes $208 for 8 hours, and I believe the non-union makes around $136, $140 for 8 hours. So that's the main difference, is SAG-AFTRA union, since it's in our new contract, gets paid a little more than the non-union. Another difference is the percentage of SAG-AFTRA union actors on set and non-union. So majority of the time you will be booking more work, just kind of in general, for both background work and commercials as a non-union performer. Why? Because this is a rough estimate, it can change, but typically 75% of background actors are non-union because production is paying them less, of course. They want more non-union, and then 25% is SAG-AFTRA union background actors, and that's in the contract, the SAG-AFTRA contract, that states that every production has to have a certain amount of SAG-AFTRA background on every project. So if you're coming into doing background work as a SAG union performer, just know that work, as well as commercials, and that's a whole other video, that work will be less frequent than a non-union performer, since they are booking more of them because they're paying them at a lower rate. So just keep that in mind. One question that people ask is, hey, if I'm a non-union performer, can I get into SAG-AFTRA by doing background work? The answer is yes. I've known a few people who have done it this way, not me personally, because it's kind of a long haul game and you don't really know when that might happen. So let me explain. If you're a non-union background actor and you're trying to get into SAG that way, there's other options, but you're trying to get into SAG by doing background work. Let's go back to that example, right? Of 75 people are booked as non-union background and 25 are booked as SAG-AFTRA union background. Let's say one person doesn't show up. So now there's this one SAG-AFTRA voucher free that one of the non-union people have to take, because according to the SAG-AFTRA contract, 25 of them have to be, 25 of the background have to be SAG-AFTRA. So that one little voucher has to go to one of the non-union people. So somehow, some way, if you can finesse or talk to the PA, being like, hey, did any of the SAG people not show up? Would I be able to take their voucher? Is that cool? Then you got one of those vouchers. But you need to be able to do that 3 times. And so that's kind of where it could be, you could be a magician and somehow get them quickly, or it could take you years. And in my experience with people who've done it that way, it has taken them years, because one, you're hoping that a few SAG-AFTRA people don't show up, and I would say the majority do. And then 2, if they don't show up, let's say back to that example, out of 75 non-union people, all 75 people probably want that voucher. So then you have to finesse to get that voucher. And you have to do that 3 times, not just once. 3 different occasions, if that makes sense. You have to hope someone doesn't show up, and then you were able to snatch that SAG voucher 3 different times, 3 different productions. Maybe it's the same show, but 3 different days at least, to be able to be SAG eligible. That is one way of joining. I personally joined SAG by booking a SAG commercial, which in my opinion is way more obtainable if you're trying to go from non-union to union, is to start auditioning for commercials. Booking a commercial as a non-union actor and auditioning for a SAG spot and just booking one will make you SAG eligible. So in my opinion, that is an easier route. I mean, booking a commercial is in no way easy, but you just have to book one to be eligible versus having to get 3 vouchers by chance to become eligible. Another thing that I kind of want to debunk, it's not that it's impossible, or demystify, deglorify, I don't know what word I'm looking for here, is if you're doing background work in hopes of getting a speaking role, I would say that you have like a 0.00000000001% chance of that happening. Typically, to get a speaking role, you have to audition, right? And you have to stand out, and casting chooses you, and it's very purposeful and intentional as to why they chose you for a speaking role. Background acting, you don't need any experience because it's not speaking, will be the background, it's out of focus. So, sure, out of my 10 years in Los Angeles, I've known one person who was doing background work, and it was for a medical show. And the medical students, he was in a bunch of them, were supposed to be listening to a doctor and like really avidly taking notes. And the other background actors weren't really taking it seriously. They were just kind of like holding their boards and just looking at him. But he was the only one actively listening and taking notes as if he was in medical school. And the director took note of that and said, hey, we're gonna give you a line. And that's how he got his first co-star. So I know some actors come here and they believe that's what can happen to them. But when I say that is rare, look up the definition of rare. It's like 1 in millions. Like, I would not ever give anyone that hope of background work leading to a speaking role. The main reason you are doing background work is to learn how set life works, to watch the whole mechanism that is the entertainment industry, and of course to make that money, to get a free meal if you're SAG, if it helps you towards your SAG health or pension plan, so be it. But the main reason is not to try to get a guest star or a co-star or a series regular from being background, because that really just doesn't happen. It's really just to learn and be in a job that's adjacent to what you want to be doing. It is a stepping stone to then getting an agent, to then auditioning and so and such.